A military investigator has told the special court in Juba that the Army's deputy chief failed to act on intelligence warning of the deadly attack on the Army garrison in Nasir County in March. The accusation was made during the high-profile treason trial of the suspended first vice president, Dr. Riek Machar, and 7 co-accused. Major Peter Manuel Deng, the first prosecution witness, testified that Lieutenant Gen Gabriel Duplam, then the acting chief of defense forces, was informed of a plan to assault the Nasir garrison but did not alert the country's leadership or take preventive action. The attack on March 3, 2025 on the South Sudan People's Defense Forces (SSPDF) base in Nasir County, Upper Nile, killed more than 250 soldiers, a senior commander, Gen David Major Dak, and a member of a UN helicopter crew. Prosecutors allege it was carried out by the White Army militia and forces loyal to Dr. Machar's SPLM-IO. Dr. Machar, 73, and his co-accused face charges of murder, treason, and crimes against humanity before a special tribunal of 3 judges. Did not take action. Testifying on Monday during the 27th session of the court at Freedom Hall, Maj Manuel, a member of a joint military investigation committee, said Gen Dup was in charge of the army while the chief of defense forces was abroad. He was informed about the plan to attack Nasir garrison and he didn't take action or inform the leadership, Maj Manuel told the court. Under cross-examination from Dr. Machar's defense counsel, Warnyang Kir Warnyang, the witness was questioned on why the incident was not handled through established administrative channels for ceasefire disputes, as had occurred after previous clashes involving the White Army. Maj Manuel said that this time, the militia and SPLM-IO did not have the patience for such a process and instead attacked convoys sent to relieve troops in Nasir. Investigation scope. Another defense lawyer, Koor Lul Koor, questioned whether the SSPDF had notified the Ceasefire and Transitional Security Arrangements Monitoring Mechanism, SAM, about the troop movements to Nasir, a procedural requirement under the 2018 peace deal. Maj Manuel said his committee's mandate did not cover that specific point. Maj Manuel said his committee's mandate did not cover that specific point. When asked if ceasefire violations should be investigated by the SAM, he replied, "Our dispute was with White Army and not the SPLM-IO, but after investigation, we found out that SPLM-IO commanders were involved in the attack." Koor also asked whether investigators had obtained an audio recording of an alleged phone call between Machar and officials in Nasir County. Maj Manuel said the committee had not yet been formed at the time. Defense lawyer Koor also asked about 7 SPLM-IO officers killed alongside General David Major during the final evacuation attempt. Maj Manuel confirmed the fatalities but said the investigation committee was unable to verify the officers' identities. The defense also questioned the witness about one of the other accused, lawmaker Gatwech Puch. Maj Manuel stated that while lawmaker Puch, as a politician, could spread propaganda, he would not openly call for rebellion, citing a video in which the MP rejected SSPDF deployment to Nasir. Trial adjourns. The court, presided over by Judge James Alala Deng, adjourned until Friday, December 5, to continue the cross-examination of Maj Manuel. Lieutenant Gen Gabriel Dup, who is also the chief of staff of the SPLM-IO, is among the 8 defendants. The others are Dr. Machar, Pute Kong Chul, Mampal Duer, Gatwech Puch, Camilo Gatmichael, Mating Yakrik, and Dominic Gatgokrik. All accused have denied the charges. The humanitarian situation in South Sudan is continually degrading, with a sharp rise in casualties from airstrikes and ground fighting, 8 agencies have told the UN. A senior official from the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, said the use of aircraft and barrel bombs had intensified, displacing hundreds of thousands. The warning comes as funding for the crisis is reported to be in decline. Florence Gillette, the head of the ICRC delegation in South Sudan, briefed journalists on Friday in Geneva on an alarming medical crisis. She said nearly 1,000 weapon-wounded patients had been treated in ICRC-supported hospitals so far in 2025, the highest number recorded since 2018. In the past 8 years, we have conducted more than 25,000 surgeries on 5,000 persons wounded by weapons, Ms. Gillette added. The conflict is occurring in 7 out of the country's 10 states, she explained. Alongside the aerial attacks, hostilities on the ground have killed and injured many, displacing close to 500,000 people. The crisis is compounded by the arrival of some 1.2 million people who have fled the conflict in neighboring Sudan, many living in dire conditions. Funding decline. Ms. Gillette warned that the immense humanitarian needs were not being met, with about 57% of the population facing food insecurity. She said health facilities, highly dependent on international aid, had suffered a drastic reduction in capacity. This was further exacerbated by the fact that funding continued to decline, and donor interest has decreased in recent years, she stated. In response to questions, Ms. Gillette said the aerial weapons being used most likely came from private companies. While not highly sophisticated, she said they created significant challenges for civilians and aid workers. The downsizing of the UN peacekeeping mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, will also affect humanitarian assistance and the protection of civilians, she warned. The ICRC official said that while humanitarian flights were still possible in South Sudan, unlike in Sudan, they required coordination with armed forces to access certain areas and evacuate the wounded. Message to SPLM-IO members worldwide. Dear comrades, at this critical juncture in our movement's history, I extend greetings of solidarity to all of you across the globe. The Sudan People's Liberation Movement in Opposition, SPLM-IO, was founded in 2013 under the leadership of Dr. Riek Machar. It was born out of the struggle for justice, equality, and democratic governance in South Sudan. The SPLM-IO has clear vision, mission, and objectives. Don't listen to what the tribal supporters of the SPLM-IG and its sympathizers tell you. The SPLM-IO is not what some people tell you. The SPLM-IO remains the most preferable political organization because of its vision, mission, and objectives. If the SPLM-IG lies to you that the SPLM-IO is not good, just respond that if it is not good organization, why are lying about it? Why are they using money and force to make all people silence and to destroy it instead of allowing it to die natural death, like other weak political organizations? In history of the world, why is the SPLM-IG using force and investing millions of dollars to destroy the SPLM-IO? The SPLM-IG fears the SPLM-IO is not only a threat to it, but it is also the best alternative that citizens are now becoming interested in its agenda. It is the main reason the SPLM-IG is investing millions of dollars to either destroy the SPLM-IO or to distort its vision, mission, and objectives. The SPLM-IG is extensively using security and money to force you and other citizens to believe that the SPLM-IO is a tribal organization.